guys, welcome to the show. How you doing? So today we're going to be talking about situationships. Now I want you to read this next conversation that follows very carefully and then we'll talk. So lots of people saw this conversation and their reaction was, oh, it's a girl's fault. The guy really said he was not ready for a relationship or something serious. But before we go all judgy on her, first of all, let's just hold her for a minute and think about some things. Now, you were not born as confident as you are today. Do not forget that. You've had to learn confidence and gain strength through some bitter lessons that have taken you to the throne of no nonsense and stone-heartedness that you are on today. And a lot of us find ourselves in situationships, much more than we'd like to admit. I mean, before you're calling a guy or texting a guy like, what's happening, like 2 a.m. in the night, like where's this thing going, it's because you're already finding yourself in a place where you fear that you might be in a situationship with somebody that you would rather be in a romantic relationship with. Now, with that being said, let's put ourselves in this girl's shoes for a minute. Was she being overly ambitious about the relationship? That's possible. But then again, there are lots of relationships, there are lots of marriages that started out as situationships. So maybe she was just being hopeful that that's what will happen to her. Maybe she was being hopeful that, oh, one day maybe the guy is going to change his mind. It's something that I learned from Matthew Hussey that they call the one-day wager. So the one-day wager is you literally meet a guy, he tells you, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then you tell yourself, oh, that's what he says now, but one day he's going to change his mind. Maybe if I'm good to him, maybe if I cook that must stew, maybe if I walk like a monkey, maybe if I climb trees and walk on water, maybe he'll change his mind and marry me. Has that worked for some people? Yes, but it's a very dangerous bet to put your life on or any other person's life on, because first of all, these people don't make these decisions with you in mind. I'm not refusing that you're not special or that you're not amazing or all of that, but these people don't make these decisions with you in mind. So you have to be very conscious of that when you come into their lives and they tell you these things, you might change their mind, but hopefully you're not doing it consciously. Hopefully you're changing your mind by just being who you are, changing their mind by just being who you are. Because if you're trying to do this consciously, you might just be digging up this kind of hole at this type of time in the night. And sometimes you meet people like that and then you're telling yourself, oh, that's fine, that's cool, I'm also not in for a serious relationship. Meanwhile, you're secretly liking the guy, and before you know it, you find yourself sweeping floors that are already clean at 2 a.m. and singing Adele songs. My mother always says when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Lesson, if you meet somebody and they tell you that they're not interested in a relationship, they don't want to have a relationship now, if you know that what you're looking for at the moment is a relationship, just avoid those people before the feelings start growing. Don't sit there and tell yourself that you're strong, you can handle it, I like the guy, I can just hang around him and be his friend. The fact that I'm around does not mean that we'll eventually date. If you know that that's not what you're looking for, why burden yourself? I mean, there are a billion other people on earth that want the same things you want. Rather than staying with somebody that you have to bend him over in an opposite direction, which is almost impossible, it's better you go find somebody else that wants a relationship like you do. I mean, it's not that hard. It's a relationship. It's not brain surgery that you're asking from this guy. This guy is even decent. He has a job. Some of these people, they have all this series in their laptop. But at the very least, it's not that bad. At least, thank God that lines were drawn at 6 months. I mean, imagine it went on for much longer and then you get pregnant. And then this guy comes to your house, sits in your father's chair and tells him, we're just friends at best. That's if he even accepts to take responsibility for the child without even the pregnancy. The longer you go in these kinds of things, the more damaging it is when you finally realize that you have to let go by force. God help us. Now over to the guy. What he did was so wrong. You know that this girl's in a vulnerable position and you know that she's asking for more than you can offer at the moment. But for 6 months, every night you're taking clean clothes, you're taking good food, and you're taking sex, waiting to tell her that she's a friend at best when she finally brings up the conversation. There's no, I mean, I don't think there's any debate that what he did to her was very, very wicked. I don't think there's any debate that, and you know, guys like this are always, when you try something like this with your sister, even if you just tell them that, baby, I had a dream in which I used to, they will call even dead military people on your case. They're always very protective of their sisters because apparently they can treat every other person's sister terribly, but when it comes to theirs, it's angels are supposed to come down from heaven and marry them. Well, we're not wishing for terrible things to happen to anybody because their brother is acting badly, but it's just funny how people like this always tend to behave when it's their family members that are involved. Back to the guy, what he did was very, very, very wrong, which just goes to buttress my point that there are a lot more other people out there in the world that want what you want. So if you find somebody that even is honest enough, I have to appreciate the fact that at least he was honest from the beginning to tell her that I don't want something, even though he took everything that comes with a relationship. But at least he told her from the beginning. And I'm going back to my point to say that there are lots of people out there in the world that want what you want, and you don't have to feel like this guy must be yours because this is the one that you like. You can like many people. Since you started dating, but up to now you must have liked a lot of people. You can also love many people. So there's no need to limit yourself to somebody that doesn't even want you because of that. And it's also necessary. I think that one of the biggest lessons about from this is that it's very necessary to have that conversation with the people that you're liking, and like, hey, what's going on? Because we assume that sometimes you feel like, I like this guy, I know that he likes me, so we must be in a relationship. It doesn't work like that. Even when people love each other, it is not a necessary basis for relationships, because there are people that love each other to the death of them, but they don't come from the right village, they don't go to the right church, they don't do this, and so they can't be together. So do not assume that this person that you're with likes you and you guys are in a relationship. Like I said, sweeping floors at 2 a.m. and Adele songs is not a healthy place to find yourself in. So have that conversation. Obviously, you can be hanging with a guy and in 3 months he's not saying anything, but he's claiming that he likes you. Obviously, he doesn't like you enough. Obviously, he doesn't like you like that. There's no need to even find X, Y about the thing. It is very clear. And some guys, a lot of guys are cunning. They would be like, you're my friend, you're my girl, we're just hanging. Like when these guys started talking, you're my girl. If you said you're my girl and the conversation ended there, she would have been feeling like you guys were dating. Meanwhile, it's not the case. So you have to lay it down. You actually have to draw the lines. Even if you know that this guy is a player or this guy is being cunning, draw it down. You guys talk and then like, what's going on? So he tells you, we're not doing this. If you want to continue hanging at that time, it is on your own terms. Capiche?